It cannot be understated what Deion Sanders did in his opening game at Colorado University when he went up against TCU, ranked number 17 in the country. And by the way, they were also in the national championship game last year with a team, Colorado that is, that had a 1-11 season. Here you have Deion Sanders, a Hall of Fame cornerback, one of the greatest of all time, comes into from an HBCU, that's historically black college, and does what he said he was going to do, and that is succeed. This video isn't about football. This video is about the mentorship that Deion Sanders is providing for his team. We've done several videos on him, and we're going to talk about that right here in a clip.
Slides, no sleeveless shirts, no armpits exposed, none of that. Sit in the front of the classroom and be the perfect gentleman, and make sure you shower before you go to class. I don't want to get a report that you was in some bull jump with our apparel on representing. Kids sitting in the back of the class making noise. He's freestyling back to the whole class while I was trying to teach it with Jackson State football shirt on.
But also his son, which is right there next to him, broke records today at Colorado, passing for over 500 yards, no interceptions, several touchdowns, and is just an example of what black men who are in leadership over kids who are not just black kids. It's a mixed team. So what's lacking here is leadership from men. And this video is going to be me reacting to that and showing you some stats that are pretty hard to look at, but it's an indication of an easy solution for this country. This is Travis Hunter at Jackson State University. This is last year. Travis Hunter was the #1 recruit in the nation outside of HBCUs, in the nation, 5-star blue chip recruit. He decided to turn down schools like Georgia, like Alabama, like these huge programs to go to Jackson State, a small school, to go play for Deion Sanders, who's his idol. And so let's take a look at this particular clip. That's a very heartwarming video to watch, and I get emotional every time I see it. And to my point, check this stat out here. This is from In Wokeness. Children raised by a single parent. Black children, 64%. Hispanic children, 42%. White children, 24%. And Asian children, 16%. That's raised by a single parent. Mostly, usually, it's the mother. Incarceration rates by race. Look at that. Black, Hispanic, white, Asian. Look, it's exactly the opposite. Oh, income by race, Asian, white, Hispanic, black. It all plays exactly in reverse of being raised by a single parent. Listen, guys, this is something that has to be remedied. And of course, on this channel, we always talk about a lot about the black culture and how horrendous it's been in the past several years. And I attend and I submit that this is because of the lack of a strong black male in these families. You go back to Lyndon Baines Johnson, War on Poverty. It was an attack on the black family. We have videos on that as well. We'll leave a whole playlist in the comments below, in the description below. But check this out, guys. We're going to just talk about a little bit about Deion Sanders and what he means to this program, because a lot of these kids just do not have that kind of influence. And that first clip we showed you about him in the locker room was just so poignant. It's just so powerful and impactful, and there's so many videos to go through, but I'm going to go through Twitter here and go through some videos that were post-game. And by the way, he beat TCU and he beat them in a convincing fashion. Even though it was a close game, they were dominant most of the game, and it was an away game for Colorado. So this is an amazing testament to his leadership and for the kids believing in him. And this is something that I'm curious to see how the media is going to handle this. And there's a clip here with him talking about strong black men and leaderships and how that's threatening. I'm not sure it's so much that. I think it's so much the fact that he's instilling Christian Judeo values into his players, because he's a man of God. He doesn't use profanity. He doesn't as far as I know, doesn't drink or anything like that. And he is all about being a father figure in a godly fashion and believing in yourselves and the whole 9 yards. And that's something that goes seriously counterculture. So I'm really curious how the media is going to treat him going forward. So let's look at some clips here on Twitter and we will wrap this video up.
We're gonna continuously be questioned because we do things that have never been done. That's the way our life has presented themselves. We do things that have never been done, and that makes people uncomfortable. When you see a confident black man sitting up here talking his talk, walking his walk, coaching 75% African Americans in the locker room, that's kind of threatening. Oh, they don't like that. But guess what? We're going to consistently do what we do because I'm here and ain't going nowhere. And I'm about to get comfortable in a minute.
Now, see, I don't think he's race baiting here. I think he's just trying to instill some confidence and push back on the media and their narrative. But I don't think he quite understands the wokeism aspect of it. But I'll give him some grace there on that comment. But I think he's trying to say it's a race-related thing. But I think it's really about him instilling Judeo-Christian values. And I think that's really what's going to be the ultimate thing that's going to have the media attack him. So let me find another clip here. And another thing that I think people are going to not like about him is the fact that he has sort of a Trumpism about him where he goes after the media. So let me give some background here. So there are reporters basically saying, hey, you are not going to be able to beat TCU. This team is this team is that. And by the way, again, Colorado was 1-11 last year. 1-11 is a failing program, one of the worst in the entire country. He came in the locker room the first day and said, look, guys, if you don't work hard, you're going to get out of here. I'm going to remove many of you out of here because you don't play well. You're not good enough. We're going to get new people coming in using something called the transfer portal. He revamped the entire team essentially in 1 year, basically by the power of his persona and his will and his charisma and his legacy of what he's done on the field. He brought his son in from Jackson State. He brought Travis Hunter in, again, a blue chip player. And this guy did this, transformed this program overnight. And now they're up against a team that was literally in the national championship game last year. And that's just incredible. And on the road, nonetheless. And yet here he's responding to a reporter who wrote negatively about him. And here's what Deion had to say.
What's up, boss? You believe that? You hold on. Oh no. Do you believe that? Huh? Oh no. I read through that bull junk you wrote down. I read through that. I sifted through all that. Yeah. Oh no. Come on. Do you believe?
So the reporter is trying to ask his question and Deion is ignoring him. And he says, can I get my question in? Keeps going. As do you believe? Reporter is like, what? And he ignores him. And if this isn't Trump in terms of dealing with the media, I don't know what is.
Just answered it. You don't believe.
Now, I probably can't play this clip because Fox Sports is kind of crazy about copyrights. But in this particular clip, I'll leave a link to this below. He is talking to the reporter and saying, hey, you know what? Thank you, Jesus, for this moment. He brings his son in. Right there, that's Travis Hunter, the guy I was showing you before with that clip when he was hugging him. His son comes in. It's the same picture when you first saw him on this particular video. And it's just a moment where he's just pouring his heart out to his players at a national moment when he did this with his team, with the help of God, to do this and make a statement. And the whole point of this whole video is not to talk about sports. I can care less about the taglines, is to identify and highlight when you have leadership, in this case, black men with mostly black men in the locker room, but it's also other kids too, because this culture is pervasive across the country. It's not just affecting black kids, it's affecting the entire country. This nasty, disgusting culture is prominating itself all through us. It's highlighting that particular leadership and that counterculture, which I think it's really refreshing and makes me so much want to support Deion Sanders, even though as a Miami Hurricanes fan growing up, I support him 100% because what he's doing is absolutely amazing.